two questions: how to leverage with the impact if you're a startup, and how to distinguish an impact for startup if you're on investor side. And my advice to you is to think as investors working on your startup, but working as investors on the same startup you built up is requiring to go and watch as your customers. And not only you need to watch as a member of community, how your startup is changing the situation if it's just here. Just imagine, please write down how you're, just few words, how you're impacting your community, neighbors, just random words if you are just working. And you need to be sure that you are on the right way. The concepts are definitely very complicated and mixed because of an AI age we have now. The content is provided very fast just by a prompt. So the green is, we're talking about sustainable startups, which is about buzzword now very much, because only few people knew at that moment finally in Estonia. So what is inside of that and how they're distinguished? Because definitely the startup which is just decided not to buy from bad people, also sustainable, but it's a level of sustainability like 1.10, and there is a formula. So there is a formula. And the question is, we're about sustainable startup or the impact for startup. And this is less explained. And if we will see that sustainable startup is usually about social and environmental impact, which is more than about financial outcomes. And it looks like an NGO some way, etc. It's very important step in the development of this industry and all the sector to understand this concept, because it's about sustainability 3.0. So no one described sustainability 4.0 for now. But we're already standing here, we're in Estonia, so we're to do the things now. And so when you're in the impact first startup, you need to understand that your income is coming from this social impact, which is coming from the change of environment, because people are very indirect about environment sometimes, because who needs environment if there is no person in the room? We have Chernobyl catastrophe, so I'm from Ukraine, for example. No one cares. So we're egoistic and environmental in our own benefits. So it's an awesome professor from Rotterdam School of Management who describe these 3 steps of sustainable finance. And very important that most of the sustainable or impact investors are following of this point, and it's some way new, and it's not dedicated to Europe with ESG or US where ESG is not so cited. But the main point that here we're at 0 point, we're maximizing shareholders' value and proving to our investors that we're the best point where they can put their money. So, and there could be very different businesses. So then sustainable finance, okay, so we are starting to act more ethically. Point second, so stakeholders' value. And it's about the most complex and the most expensive way to go to sustainability, which is done by the big corporates now. So they're doing big CSR programs. They're going into compliance. They are advocating the lane of GR with their GR activities of some big changes on the European level or elsewhere to be on time with this big mass of everything. But it's what is pushing sustainability now as we know it. It's so very popular, sustainability with ESG, and sustainable finance 3.0. And why I'm saying sustainability 3.0, because it's not only finance. So It's about common good and value, and this awesome model when S and E is bigger than F. But what's beyond? So we're going here. So, okay, we will have just one more sustainable startup. And we have the room with sustainable startups, for example, but you need to stand out. How you can think, and just imagine the recession, etc. And most of investors who are not too ethical and they're thinking about their own income and what they will provide to their children, etc. So they will think about, would it be better to put money in some seen business for some time, etc. But seen businesses are also sometimes recessing together with everything. So, and in this point, so the notation is very good, but it's showing that yes, it's possible to go this way, it's greater, etc. It can work, but is it enough? So, not yet. So, the difference is that when you're running sustainable and impact first startup, so as particular, so you are getting the rent. So again, it's very primitive. It's to the Middle Ages and ancient world. So you are getting the rent from the impact you created to the community. So, and you will not get all money. You will get only your money. So you just need to calculate. So how much is this community ready to give you the money from what positive is happening in the room or in the town, etc. And it's about not about saint businesses, it's about practical businesses. And here is small things. So it's about the rent. It's about it will be shared. I insist. So because like maybe it's a main point. So it's about earning on making the change. So think not with a product in this case. If you're impact startup, think about infrastructure. And now please imagine what you would like to read about yourself, your startup in 5 and 10 years. And put the heading into your phone and some subtitle or tagline. So, and it's the main point how people will see your impact. So, if you're thinking about delivery of sustainable impact, social impact to the community, so you need to think about stakeholders. And some of these stakeholders are your customers. And your customers are your best partners in delivering the value to others because they will also get the piece of benefits collaborating with you. So, the prerequisites. This business is very dependent on communications and partnerships. So, you need to talk to people more than in any metallurgical or mining things. So, and it's about communication heavy and it's about equality and the dialogue. So you need to be ready to process plenty of grassroots information. So, and what is the secret sauce? Of being true self. So very experienced impact investors, for example, like Swedish Norsken, they are not too simple to not to seed out the companies which are just pretending sustainable. Yeah. So it's very important, and people who have gotten these investments in Estonia, for example, told that it's important to have common ID with them. And you need to demand common ID from the investor, not vice versa. It could be funny. So the culture of care. I will recommend this book. It's 2012. Some of this book is bullshit, but the second chapter is about how this impact thing on the community level work and how you're getting doors, hearts open at the people you would like to collaborate but would rather never met out otherwise. So, And it's some way continuing controversial ideas, maybe, which people sometimes criticize in Nordic Europe, which is around World Economic Forum as well. So I'm not promoting any ideas, but the stakeholders' capital is what you're leveraging to get this money. And why we're concluding spirally? Because the old instrument, which is coming from USAID, log frame, which is about trees of the problems and the solutions when you're point by point unweaving the big problem by specific action at some specific condition, is how these startups work. So thank you very much. Please ask me the questions, and please finish your future articles in Financial Times, in Newsweek, etc., and start your business from this point. So you need to plan from the end when you are going to be exited from your business, and your business as a startup is continued without you. So what you're reading about what you sold, it's very important. Thank you.